Hello, hello, friends. Elizabeth here. Welcome to the Wisdom Journey. We are covering the book of Proverbs, and today we are covering chapter 20. So, thank you so much for being here. 20 days. So, congratulations. We're almost there. So, don't slow down. Okay, if you need to take a little break, take a little break, but jump back on so you can finish with me. So, chapter 20, verse 1, we start off with something that's a little bit controversial. And that, what is it? Wine, drinking. Wine produces mockers, alcohol leads to brawls. Those led astray by drink cannot be wise. Here in the Passion Translation, a drunkard is obnoxious, loud, and argumentative. You're a fool to get intoxicated with strong drink. So what do we do about this? It's a little controversial because some people say, hey, drinking alcohol is okay. Jesus turned water into wine, and there's a lot of mention of alcohol drinking in the Bible and the celebration. So what's the verdict in situations like this where pretty much here the guiding line is, if you're led astray, are you led astray by alcohol? And the nature of alcohol is that it will lead you astray. There's much negativity when it comes to alcohol. There's so many things that you have to take into consideration now when you're drinking alcohol that just feel like it's not worth it. If you're going to drink alcohol, you have to think about, am I going to drink it? Am I going to be out? All right, now who's going to drive? Who's going to cut people off if they've been drinking too much? If you're drinking at home and then you got younger kids, if your kids have their friends over, now they start drinking alcohol. Now people can call on you out for letting minors drink. um you have to work the next day, but you drank too much. And then aside from that, if you think about all the things that happen in our bodies when we drink alcohol, excuse me, just the amount of sugar that's in alcohol, the how your liver has to work tons. So it's sort of like, is it really worth it? Now I know that sometimes it's like, hey, you're having an anniversary, you want to drink a glass of wine. I think all of that is okay. You just have to see, like, what are the pros, what are the negatives, and what do you feel deep down? If it's an issue, if alcohol is an issue with you, you know that if you just drink one glass, you're gonna want more. You can't say no, and then all of a sudden you're gonna want to, start getting wild. It may take you back to a period of your life that you're trying to get away from. So you deep down inside know, hey, is alcohol a wise thing? Will it lead me astray? I know a lot of people that don't have issues with alcohol, that they really enjoy drinking wines from different parts of the world. They get into the nerdy stuff of it, and alcohol as well, how the fermentation, and they have a handle on it. And I've seen them be very, very responsible, and be people that actually cut off other people. So it just depends on your maturity, depends on what alcohol has done to you or your family in the past. And so I definitely think that in this case, you need to pray and say, will alcohol lead me astray? And if it will, it says, hey, it's not a wise thing. I will tell you that I've heard a lot of stories, very sad stories, that things that have happened to people, and especially young ladies. And most, like 99% of the time, it all started off as alcohol. Hey, we went to dinner, and then we had drinks, and then all sorts of stuff happened. So to eliminate all of that, just forego that. There's a lot of other fun bubbly drinks that you can drink that don't involve alcohol. So that's just my opinion here. But we do start off with, just, it kind of just throws that out there. I don't think as of to now, King Solomon had talked to us about alcohol. All right, so then let's continue. What other verses do I have in the notes? Verse 3, about, again, avoiding conflict. A person of honor will put an argument to rest. Only the stupid want to pick a fight. So who are you here? Are you the person that puts arguments to rest, right? Do you need to win that argument? Or are you the one that wants to continue fighting or starts the fight? So let's see how we have it here. Avoiding a fight is a mark of honor. Only fools insist on quarreling. So again, who are you? I've been around people that I find that when I hang out with them, it's like they're fighting with the waitress, and then with the attendant here, and and it's like, man, like that whole day is so weird. But it's like, oh, it's this person that likes to pick those fights, right? Let's be the other person. Let's be let's be the honorable person, the one that avoids fights. Now, of course, there's some times that you've got to defend yourself, but in this case, I feel like it's just the people that are just, needing to win those arguments. All right, so I have verse 5 here. Through good advice lies Though good advice lies deep within the heart, a person with understanding will draw it out. Let's see here. That's right. A man of deep understanding will give good advice, drawing it out from the well within. So sometimes we have to work a little harder at finding that wisdom. And here it talks about a well, right? So you may know where the water may be, right? The water, is underground, but in order to get access to that water, you're going to have to dig, right? Dig down and then draw it out. So there are times that we have to draw out that wisdom. We may have to draw it out from our family and friends, or help them draw it out. And then within us, God has placed wisdom in our heart, and we have to stay quiet, spend quiet time with him so we can slowly hear it and draw it out. So I thought that was a really good verse. I have here verse 6. Many will say they are loyal friends, but who can find one who is truly reliable? Again, are you that loyal friend, right? Try to be that loyal friend, a husband, wife, co-worker. And what does it mean to be that loyal friend? So when you find that person, make sure you appreciate them. Let them know. That's something that I think I'm going to harp on here and now. It is like, let those people around you that are loving you, that are loyal, that have constructive criticism for you, that are encouraging, let them know that in your life, all right? Okay, so I jumped to verse 13, and the main reason is because a lot of these other verses we've kind of touched on already. And then verse 13 is like, wait, I want to defend myself. I felt a little convicted. But if you love sleep, you will end in poverty. Keep your eyes open and there will be plenty to eat. So yes, this is like for the people that are extremely lazy and want to sleep all day, want to just hang out watching Netflix for hours and hours. And of course, it's going to catch up to them. Now, I like to sleep, but it's because I like to sleep my, 7, 8 hours. Like I said, I don't drink coffee, so I need sleep to give me the energy. So that one's with balance, but definitely it's like, you have to work. And I think that in here, there's other verses about working and preparing for the days where there may not be a lot of food, a lot of work out there. I have here to jump over to verse 22. Don't say, I will get even for this wrong. Wait for the Lord to handle the matter. And I've shared that before. There's a lot of injustice going on. We've probably seen a lot, and we want to, take revenge. And here it even says, wait for the Lord. Because when God does it his way, there's always healing involved. There's always, the way he works is so above our ways, right? We don't understand his ways. When we take revenge, it's like tick for tack, like, oh, you hit me, okay, I hit you. And then you have two people that are just hurting. When God gets involved, he deals with the heart. And when he deals with the heart, there's transformation, there's conviction, and there is his judgment. And that's something that we just can't do. Go to verse 24. The Lord directs our steps. So why try to understand everything along the way? This is me. I am getting better at this, but I want to know where things are going. Why am I doing this? And I needed to see so many steps ahead. And if not, I just wouldn't take action. I'm getting better at this. Like, we really have to trust the Lord that he's going to direct our steps. And we're in Proverbs and we're asking him for guidance. Yeah, there may be times that we're gonna, take wrong steps, but when we're really close to him, we get the conviction fast. It's when we ignore him, right? When we end up way far, we're just like, how did I get here? You know how you got there. you ignored the prompting. You probably even ignored people saying, hey, you shouldn't be coming this way, go back, right? But if we're really close to him, hearing him, we're going to quickly make those pivots. We're going to quickly know, oh yeah, this is not for me. It was my bad. And then go back. And God allows us to make mistakes. You know, he wants us to truly learn and understand and even experiment, right? But in this verse, it's like, you know, we don't always have to try to understand everything. Just trust him. And we can trust him because we're close to him and we know that he loves us. I have here verse 25. Don't trap yourself by making a rash promise to God and only later counting the cost. That one stood out because I actually had someone mention that to me, that they had made some promises to God and they weren't able to fulfill them. And I think that this God is so amazing. He's so loving. He understands our humanity. Remember, Jesus Christ lived here on earth, in our bodies. He went through every temptation you can imagine, so he can empathize. So, one, if we are talking too much and promise things to God, we can go to him and just tell him, hey, I know I promised I was going to do this and that. I can't fulfill it. Forgive me, but help me. And the same thing with our family and friends. And we make promises that we're not going to be able to fulfill. I know sometimes it can be so embarrassing. And instead, we just stay away and then people don't trust us. So we have to learn to communicate and say, hey, I know I said I was going to do this. I I won't be able. And I've actually had to do that recently with some commitments that I've made, and I just overbooked myself, and I was struggling like, how do I do this? I'm gonna look so bad, but I've had to say, hey, I won't be able to do this. I think I can do this, you know, a couple of months down the road. So I had to shift some things in my schedule because I had just, you know, what is it like, rashly. I said, oh yeah, sure, I can do this. And I didn't think about my schedule. I had to go back and apologize and move things. And guess what? They were okay with it. Like, oh yeah, no problem. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. Great. Whereas before I probably would like, oh my God, I would hide, or maybe like, oh, I'm sick, I won't be able to do it, instead of being honest and hey, I didn't look at my schedule. I'm learning. So I'm learning so much. I love all of these verses. Verse 27, the Lord's light penetrates the human spirit, exposing every hidden motive. Um, so we don't have to worry about other people's motives. You know, God's going to deal with them. But I love this for myself, right? Because sometimes it's like we don't even know our own motives. We don't even know our hearts. The only person that truly knows our heart is God. So it's like I'm asking him penetrate into my spirit and expose me. You have to be ready for it. You have to be humble. You have to surrender. You have to want it. Be changed and have that transformation, and just tell him, go into my heart, God, show me. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be ouch, it's going to hurt, but believe me, it's so worth it. That pain of knowing that you're not it, you know, that you're not, that you don't have it all, that you've been, you know, making huge mistakes. It hurts, but it's so good. And then I have here verse 25 about leadership. Wait, no, it's not verse 25. 28. Maybe that was a different verse. Okay, sorry. So I'm gonna go to verse 29. The glory of the young is their strength. The gray hair of experience is the splendor of old. That one resonated tons because actually earlier today I was at a mini birthday party for someone that is very experienced, and they were very, very negative. It was actually kind of sad. And so one of the things that I've been learning as I'm getting older is that we have to be in the moment and enjoy the seasons. There are seasons for everything. So there's a season now that we have experienced and we can share it, and people will come to you like, hey, share with me, tell me how your marriage, I saw that you turned around your marriage, how did you do that, your finances, are doing well. So I think that's honorable, and that's awesome that we're in that situation, that we can have some experience to share. So I guess my their advice is to do what you can to enjoy the moment you're in. I do know people that say like, man, I wish I was younger. Man, I could, I, and now I personally like, no, I was so dumb. I don't want to go back. Okay, if I could go back with my experience, maybe, but just to go back, no. And then the glory of the young is their strength. So let's enjoy them. Like they're young, they're strong. Let's use them. Hey, bring those muscles, let's be a team. You're young, you got strong muscles. I've got wisdom. Let's work together. I think there's like an appropriate song about you got the brains or okay, maybe not, maybe that's something else. Anyhow, so I just felt a little sad that this person was really bummed out about their age and was grumpy and gloomy, and I was like, oh, this person's not seeing all the great things we're doing for the community, how the community loves them, the experience, how sad. So it was just like a reminder to me, like, hey, whatever season in your life, we're getting older, but we're getting new things. There's things that we can celebrate, right? So for whatever's that worth, I really wanted to share that with you all. All right. Okay. Well, that's it for verse 20. It's a big verse. Very special day. I feel, that we've been at this for 20 days. All right. So God bless you guys, and I will see you in the next video.